Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So we're going to talk about Oregon's May 19th primary. I've done some research. I looked up the campaign finance reports for this state. It's pretty blue, so there's not a lot of super interesting things going on. It's districted. Really, if you know anything about the West, anything past the mountains gets real Republican. So weirdly, in the West, the eastern part of states are red and the western parts of states are blue. In the East, the eastern parts of the states are blue and the western parts of the states are red. So kind of switches up here, as you can tell. But lots of safe seats. So what I really look for here is primaries and who's raising money. You've got blue dots all over the place. And as you can tell, the one rule of thumb is that the larger those districts are, the fewer people that live in them. So, yeah, once you get into East Oregon, it's pretty, you probably haven't seen your neighbor in a couple weeks. When you look at demographics, really, really white, minus a couple little spots, but very, very white, not a lot of minorities. And then where there are minorities, they're really spread out. So, yeah, interesting. Real quick, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. You can find me on YouTube or Substack. I've got a way that you can donate to me on my YouTube is via PayPal at CLSB Politics. You can also join me at Substack at CLSB Politics, where if you become a paid member, moving into the election cycle, you'll see interviews first, my policy stuff first, before everyone else. So something to think about. All right. And you can go to my website, clsbpolitics.com. So that's my pitch. All right. So let's get back to Oregon. We've got Congressional District 2, which has an incumbent Republican, and no fewer than there's one more Republican running, and no fewer than 4 have signed up. And the deadline's in December. This will be going out before that. So, yeah, we'll know more. And I'm going to go back and look at all these states in January anyway. So, this is kind of where we're at money-wise. I don't think Cliff Bentz is going anywhere. He's sitting at $1.2 million cash on hand. And the Democrats, as of September, have not raised very much money. I'll come back and look at this, see if there's any activity here, but it's a lot of geography. It's 780,000 citizens spread out over, well, what arguably could be, say, 4/5 of Oregon. So the one rule of thumb is that the larger the district, the fewer the people are in, by square mile, of course, the more expensive it is. Just the logistics of getting from point A to point B, it turns into a lot. So then we got a Congressional District 4. So Congressional District 4 is interesting. The Democratic incumbent doesn't really have a lot of money. I mean, normally an incumbent would have somewhere around $1 million cash on hand by September. She's sitting at just under 400,000, but neither of her Republican doesn't stand a snowball's chance in this district, and her Democratic opponent doesn't seem to be raising very much money. So far, so good for this incumbent. Then we've got an unchallenged incumbent, a Democrat, who's sitting at 1.39, and I expect that Janelle Bynum will be right where Janelle is come November 2026. So then District 6, another Democratic incumbent against a Republican who also isn't raising very much money yet. And the Democratic incumbent sitting at almost $500,000. Not great, but not bad. And probably by the next filing deadline at the end of December, could easily be at $1 million. I did look up a little bit of polling just out of curiosity. Shock and awe. Especially, well, what was interesting is I was doing some research on young demographics, so I was part of that, and I was like, oh yeah, I got some Oregon data, and yeah, young people don't like Republicans in Oregon, and that was before Trump tried to invade Portland, so I'm feeling like that's not going to improve very much. Well, that was it. That's Oregon in a nutshell. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the support. If you wish to, donate, you can via PayPal at CLSP Politics, or you can go to my Substack page at CLSP Politics. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.